Hello everybody, welcome back for StarCraft 2 action, and you see the green. You know that means it's blue, and you know that means it's the Bellum Gens Elite 2024. And we are in the lower bracket. It's Gerald with a D, is what Wikipedia told me. Going up against Solar, who is going for a 14 hatch. What the hell? He went for an Overlord into 14 hatch. So probably just trying to get this hatch down, and otherwise you start a bunch more drones, like Solar just did. It's a best of 5, as I just said. Lower bracket, loser is out. And let's see what these players can deliver. Of course, Solar dropping out of the upper bracket. Gerald already disposed of one Zerg, I believe, in the lower bracket. Oh, yeah, it was MSRM versus Gerald, right? So let's see what happens. Our first battlefield, of course, Site Delta. We've got quite the series to kind of find out what the players like to do in this matchup. Of course, Gerald going for that super fast probe scout that even blocks a hatchery tried at 14 supply is quite the information for Solar for the rest of the game, and apparently he was expecting it as well with how he was playing. Because Gerald literally, as the game starts, sent away his probe right away, which I think might have been cut out of the beginning of this game. So just letting you know, we're going to see if Gerald keeps doing that for the rest of the series. That hatch blocking and early scouting is something he wants to keep doing. And we do see Cybercore finishing up and looking at the minerals and gas. Even seeing Adept here saving some gas, so we're probably going to see a Stargate for Gerald go down. There it goes. Overlord gets a little bit of scouting information here for Mr. Solar. Forlings, making sure that the third base can be taken. There's not like a pylon and a forge and 3 cannons. Like, it only happens to you once as a Zerg player, where you don't make the lings, so a pylon starts, and you're like, whatever, I'll send 2 drones, and then they start a cybercore, and you're like, oh no. And then you still have to start the lings, and like, that means your third nexus is just, or a hatchery is just late. And it kind of feels bad. Stargate is done. Let's see what we get. Probably an Oracle here with the 150 gas. And there it comes. Gets Chrono boosted out for Gerald. And let's see if he follows it up with more Oracles, Phoenix, or goes back for the good old Void Ray build, which hasn't been popular for quite a bit. Because thank God the Void Ray isn't as annoying anymore as it used to be. I don't know if people think back fondly of that time, but there was a time where I think the Void Ray was faster, maybe even cheaper, or faster to build, I think was... Maybe both of those things were true, but it basically resulted in Void Ray first or Oracle into Void Ray builds, and I think it even ruined PvT even more with the shield battery nonsense. It was a very unfun meta. That's the last meta I played, I'm pretty sure, or played actively. Oracle in position to defend the third base, so Gerald did not send it out. Did send out his Adepts, but they got caught right away, as we saw. And he got 1 drone for 2 Adepts. Did get 6 lings. The Oracle got turned on, and the shield battery in this version of the game can't give all that energy back just yet. Which I think that change of the patch has been growing on me. And I mean, the nuclear battery has always been dumb. So this is probably the most interesting thing, except for Zergs probably have to get used to the fact that every High Templar has Kadarian Amulet if they are close to a Nexus. Oh my god, look at these Queens. Nicely positioned by Solar. Only 1 drone kill on this Oracle. And even loses a full drone kill to this Spore that only does 15 damage. Can't believe it. We do see a Twilight Console, but no upgrade just yet. And there comes the blink. Might even see the +1 going down as well for Gerald here. He does have a third base coming up. This looks a little rough for Gerald. If I look at Solar setup, seems pretty good. Ooh, the fourth base drone does get taken down. That's a nice little delay over there. The drone count isn't even that high. Solar getting a good amount of lings here with +1 melee. But probably can't do anything to this third base unless he catches Gerald out of position. Like, if you can run by into the main here, does get a nice stalker kill here for free. Gets a pylon kill as well. Oh my. Does give Gerald enough of a warning. Oh, the pylon gets cancelled. But still 25 minerals lost. How many gateways do we have? 4 gateways right now. 2 more being added on. So Gerald just getting a nice 3-base setup for himself with Blink Stalkers and +1 underway. Only 1 Oracle though. So even though he has 4 gateways, it's going to be pretty difficult to push with his gateway units. He actually has a decent amount. I like this move out so much. Because as Solar, you have to respect this, but as Gerald, you know, you're just going to walk away. You're not going to try and kill this fourth. You're not going to really do anything here. You can even recall this whole army away. Oh, the Adepts. Oh my god, they actually go for the Shade-In. That's a little greedy on Gerald's side. I mean, the Adept isn't that good of a unit. Especially without the upgrade in this matchup after the early game. But I wouldn't call it a waste of supply. Especially against Solar that is making some lings, which Adepts are okay against lings. Guess Gerald now does have a little bit of supply for his other gateway units. I mean, I don't know. It takes a Protoss to know if that was a good Shade-In or a bad Shade-In, because it looked bad to me, but maybe it's good enough. You know, keeping Solar back a couple more seconds, getting this fourth base established that Solar does know about. Solar has a lot of links on this map. How many links do we have? 51, a couple more underway. Hive just started up, +2 attacks starting on up, but no Baneling Nest. So this is not like that. Oh, there it is. It's not going for the +2 Banes, which it does kind of line up with that, but nowadays they don't one-shot probes anymore. But 2-shotting probes is still pretty good, mind you. They also destroy pylons, they destroy shield batteries, they destroy zealots, they destroy sentries. Or no, sentries aren't liked anymore. They still do okay against sentries, but, you know, that's because the Baneling is just a good unit. A little bit of Roach Ling A move here into the Blink Stalkers. They all blink back. They do a +1. Storm underway. We see a Robo coming out as well. We have a cannon and a shield battery here. Ready to roll. Nice blink forward here by Gerald. Picks off an extra Roach for his troubles. What is Solar doing behind this? Getting a bunch of Banelings, going for a cheeky run by, whilst starting a Hydra Den. Almost has Hive completed, so he is looking at Lurkers. Getting +1 ranged as well. Interesting. Hydra Den, of course, one of those buildings that just builds very fast. Solar has a 5th base now on the map. Moves out with just Ling Roach. No Ravagers at all. Does have a bunch of Banelings. Oh, they kind of headbutt into the Stalkers, tipping them off. And a bunch of Banelings do try to get into the mineral line. Go for the sandwich play. Do get a kill on the shield battery there, so there's no nuclear battery. But Gerald is ready with more charge slot reinforcements. Didn't see any storms go down, but it might have just been blind, because these High Templar do see a little low on energy. So probably saw some storms go down. Oh, 2 more Banes run in. And look at that. Doesn't one-shot the probes. Should have gotten +3 attack. Does start the Adrenal Glands. Does start the Lurker upgrade. And Solar sitting pretty on about 80+ drones. What can Gerald do about this? Like 20+ Zealot run-bys into the 5th base. Feels good until you meet like 10 Banes. then it doesn't feel good anymore. And the Ling Bane Roach Zero Ravager army, that's very interesting, is pushing into the 4th base of Gerald. Once again, we have an Immortal here for Gerald. 2 more underway, because he sees a bunch of Roaches, and it's going to be good against the Lurker transition as well. Decides to hold off on the Disruptor. And, oh my god, these Lings really crushing. They don't even have Adrenal Glands, but they do have the +2. Oh my god, the units of the Protoss try to get closer to this shield battery. One of the Immortals did get picked off, but now they do retreat into the safety of these shield batteries and cannons. But this dead zone making it hard for these for the Protoss to, like, go back and forth and defend his base. Solar, of course, has creeped pretty close to the bases of Gerald, and he can just kind of go back and forth. And unless Gerald has perfect vision, it's hard to mirror this army. Oh, these High Templars decide it's a bit too hot out there. Go for an Archon Morph. One Immortal gets clicked down. The second one gets clicked down. And Solar completely overwhelms the 3rd base of Gerald. And Gerald feels the need to GG out there. I mean, I feel like Gerald was doing a pretty good job staying alive there. But I feel like the Storms never really gave Gerald, like, the safety to build up, like, that big army for the Protoss. It just kept getting whittled down, and Immortal got sniped over there, and then they got surrounded over there. The Hydras came in. Like, Solar was completely committing to a Lurker switch, but Gerald just never got anything off the ground. His Oracles didn't really get anything. His Blink Stalkers kept him alive, but then I feel like the Storm just didn't quite do anything. And for game number 2, we load up into Dynasty. What a treat. We don't get to see this map all too often because it's a weird map. And Solar goes for a 15 hatch on the outside of his in-base gold base, because now he can get the rich Vespene Geyser. Gerald going for that super early scout once again. Went for a pylon scout. So not like the earliest of scouts. Gets into the main, sees that, okay, it's not a 12 pool, that's pretty important. And then, does he go and check for the gold? Now he does. Oh, but he mines a mineral. He will see that hatchery, I think. I don't think you need to mine one of the back hatchery. Oh, okay, you see it. So he knows where the hatchery is. There's no gas. Spawning pool's coming up. Solar, what are you planning with this? Is this just making sure that you can get the golden minerals, which are very good for Zerg? Or are you planning to cheese with this rich geyser? You can do some nasty Ravager timings with that rich geyser. We'll see. We'll see, we'll see. Drones are going across. How many drones? I think it's... I'm not used to this size, so I don't know. It's 8? That makes me think he's not going to take the gas, but he might. There we go. The golden base is on a line, Maynarding over all of those droners. And the queens go down. Gerald, what do you think about that, buddy? What's going to be your response? And there comes the rich geyser. Oh, baby. If a Oceanborn goes down here, then definitely going to attack. Oh, I don't know. We're going to see. Is this map better or worse if one of these mineral fields is super low so that you can mine out very quickly and get into your base? Okay, the rich geyser gets manned up right away. Let's see if Solar just wants a fast speed or if he wants a fast tech as well. Hatchery goes down. Third base. So what is this going to be? Oh my god, the Lings of Solar here run into the main. He's going to find this robotics facility plus Twilight Council. So no Stargate play. Oh, might see a probe go down actually. Oh, Solar gets the one probe. Not as powerful as the one ring, but still. Oh, this Adept actually gets in behind the minerals. That is a nice play here by Gerald. Very nice. Solar has to put his queens into these pockets and then just kind of hope that Gerald donates a couple of these Solar Plus. Just hold position them in the pockets. Lairs going down, and we see a Roach Warren. Okay. But this is not super cheesy out of Solar's. Just going to try and take the advantage that he gets from having these golden minerals. Oh, nice position here by the Adept. Only 2 links of surface area. Gets to shade out, and we see a Dark Templar here. Going to be a Dark Templar drop of old. That is some ancient tech. Member Neeb. Oh, I'm member. Was that a Kespa Super Cup? Or just like GSL Super Tournament? I don't quite remember. I think it was a Kespa Cup that Neeb won. The first foreigner to win something on a Korean soil for quite a bit. Gerald looking at this golden base himself. He's like, oh, okay. Apparently those golden minerals are pretty good. I want some of those myself. Roach speed coming in. And a bunch of roaches being built as well. 40 workers here for Gerald. A DT runs in, but there is a spore already. Oh, a spore per base even, Gerald. Oof. That feels bad. Would have been nice, but Solar, from what he saw, he wanted to have those spores. Even finds the Dark Shrine, but, I mean, obviously also saw the Dark Templar. We're going to see 1 Archon here, not 2. I think 1 Archon will have a lot of trouble doing a lot of damage here, or any damage. I guess he can make sure that, like, roaches can't get back here and deny the mining. I don't know if people remember Dazon Station, which is like the... You have in the middle 2 main bases, and then in between the main base you have 2 gold bases. And in Zerg versus... Mostly Zerg versus Zerg, you would just rush a Roach Warren, make 3 roaches, and run them, like, on the outside so you can sit behind the mineral lines of your opposing gold. Because you were both going for the gold. And then just make 2 spine crawlers and just kind of turtle, like, on basically gasless, but you would have a little bit of gas because you needed the roaches. And then they would put like a spine crawler there so you couldn't do it anymore, but then you would make 1 Ravager and you would just continuously bile and you would get like 1 or 2 and sometimes 3 drones. A really dumb map. Now Solar has been getting a lot of opportunity here to build up. But Gerald, he's still in this game. Oh, these steps, even getting some gold mining drones. That's got to count for something. Oh, this Archon drop. This looks so good. He could have done this literally a minute ago. That looks so good. Having the Archons back there. Oh well. War Prism speed, Disruptor tech. Or the first Disruptor's coming out. This War Prism is a little low. But this Archon, don't stop, won't stop. Can't stop. Gets 2 more droners there. Gets a couple more Ling kills as well. It's nice. Oh, Zealot gets warped in here. But Gerald thinks better of it. Gerald is sitting pretty on 3 bases now. Infestation Pit coming down. Please, please, Swarmhost, please. I love Swarmhosts. I know I've never told you guys, but secretly, I can love those bastards. Gerald with the juggling, dude. That Archon. Oh, I tried to click a drone, but went to the other side of the map. Into a recall. I think I prefer him to just keep it there. Like, Solar is so annoyed. And if you just warp in a couple DTs, you could snipe the Spore over there. Like, oh, now he picks up Disruptors and he's just gonna go in again. Isn't he? The last time I think we watched this game, I think it was Kelliger Harston, maybe? Kelliger just walked top versus somebody. And then he completely surprised them. And then the counterattack just didn't do enough. Disruptor balls come out, kill like 1 Baneling. Not the greatest. We do have a good amount of Archons here to absorb the Banelings if need be. Solar taking a 5th here. Has mined out a couple patches on his gold base already. He's getting a hive. You see +2 melee. Like, Solar's been pretty passive, I want to say. Has added on Ravagers in his composition this time around, but still has a similar game plan to game number 1. Lings, Banelings, Roaches, has added some Ravagers, but is thinking about the Lurkers, most likely. What is Gerald thinking about, though? 1 Robo. He has High Templar Archive, but no Storm. Is Gerald just... I don't know what he wants to do. He is behind on army supply right now. Solar completely... Oh my lord, glad we caught that one. That was a juicer. With the Warp Prism speed as well. And we do see Charge Zealot only just now starting. Damn, that's kind of late. We see Storm. So I feel like Gerald is just going to be super passive here. On his cannons, on his shield batteries. Just flying around with his Warp Prisms. Might get a couple shots up with his Blink Stalkers. Against this Baneling, I mean, run by, question mark? Oh my god, the Blink gets caught by all of these Lings. We do see a Disruptor shot there. Gets a nice amount of Lings. 13 and 8 kills on the Disruptor. Oh! 29 kills on that Disruptor. It's disgusting. Behind it, we do see Adrenal Glands coming up for Solar. Do we have a Hydra Den? No, we do not. We do not have a Hydra Den. We do not have a Lurker Den. We do not have a Ultralisk Cavern. Me likey. Ultralisks. Against 3 Immortals, 4 Archons, and 20 Stalkers. Into a Protoss that is going Stargate. That could end up being pretty nice. If Gerald invests into carriers a bit too much, like, Ultras just don't care. Although there's 0 Carapace upgrades for Solar so far. He's going for +2 range. Interesting. Solar. He has the Viper count here to yoinkify all of these Immortals. First one gets yoinked in, some Storms go down, the High Templar are dead, no feedbacks were landed, and some nice blinding clouds preventing the army from really coming down this ramp. And that army of Gerald, I guess he was slightly out of position. These Immortals in the front, barely can't get targeted down. The drops in the back from Gerald, dude, what a madman. But behind it, the Immortal Stalker gets rid of a lot of the Roaches over there. 14 probes did go down, but the Nexus is alive. And Solar did lose a bunch of units there. And he's down about 3k resources. Not too bad. But Gerald now also mines out his golden base. Wonder, do you ever take the Nexus here just to get the gas? Because now he has all these gases. I mean, you might just get the gas, put like 5 probes on it at some point. Ooh, this gateway. Very nice. But Solar finds the hole. And these are Adrenal Glands plus 2 Zerglings. And they are going to get rid of all of your buildings very quickly. We even have a DT here to get rid of the Lings. Of course, they do one-shot them. But the Dark Templar attack speed isn't that high. And 10 probes do go down here. What the hell just happened? I thought a bunch of Zealots just came in. Okay, the Lings are gone. The Lings are dead. The Ultras are in. The Ultras can't push people around just yet. They aren't the bully of the playground as of yet. A new gateway gets built. I think you should build it in a little bit, huh? Because now the surface area on this thing is massive. That's a lot of Lings, though. +3 is about to finish. These Lings are so scary. Oh, even a cannon behind it. It's not enough. We do see a sentry. Nice force field. And these 2 Lings, though. Oh, we get another force field. Disruptor ball hits a couple Lings. Do have this other army of Solar over there, so Gerald has to really bounce back and forth here, try and defend both of his bases. But Solar identifies the entire army of Gerald came down. And, oh my god, that's a lot of shield batteries. Don't need no nuclear battery. And nice feedback on that last Viper over there. We have 4 or 5 Ultralisks trying to run in. Do we have the Ultralisk's armor? We do have Ultralisk armor upgrade. The Ultralisk speed, not quite done. Now it is done. We get +1 Carapace started here as well. Now, the Ultralisks do have +3 attack, so they do a massive splash. And, of course, are pretty good at hitting armored units. I mean, is this Ultralisk switch like a response to the Zealot-heavy compositions that we've been seeing out of Protoss players? And maybe especially with the golden minerals on the map, you would maybe expect your Protoss opponent to go for a lot of charge Zealots? Because, like, warping in 20 charge Zealots versus a bunch of Ultras feels super bad. But Solar, don't stop, won't stop, isn't gonna stop, just gonna keep making Ultralisks. I know I've said something similar about Gerald harassing this golden base, and that wasn't true either, so we might see a transition coming out of Solar here in the future. I wouldn't mind just seeing a casual Spire being thrown down. Just seeing if at some point you can pull a Jade on and just make like 30 mutas. But Solar, just like we saw versus, I think, Oliveira? Clem. I think it was Clem. Just wants to bash his head into any wall that he can find. Nice blinding clouds, making sure that the army of Gerald here can't fight. And oh my god, Solar gets what he wants, gets to overrun the position with mass Ultralisks, and takes game number 2 out of this best of 5. So we need Gerald to really pull it back in game number 3. And we load up into Oceanborn for that game number 3, Oceanborn. Pretty standard map, pretty old by now, but has given us a lot of good games over time, I want to say. Do know that Liberators over here are kind of imba, but luckily no Liberators in this matchup. Gerald still going for that super fast probe scout. Solar, very cognizant, goes for the bottom base. Or is he going across the map? Yes, yes. Proxy hatch him, do it. Do it. Dude, do it. That would be so nice. The drone might actually just get a natural hatchery here. Wow. That is kind of cool. Solar, I like this play. Now hides the drone. Now guys, before the action kicks off, be sure that you support a small creator on the YouTubes and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy the casts. Many more to come. Solar, are you gonna get... Oh, he went for it, but then he didn't. I guess the probe blocked it? Or maybe he clicked it off, I don't know. Goes for the pool and the gas instead, does not get the hatch block. Bly was watching, but shakes his head. Could have put a little bit more priority on it, but Solar's like, nah, dude, my hatcheries are still 300 minerals, I'm not doing that. It's too expensive. Oh, the probe comes out. Oh, 1 health! 1 health! Nope, I think he's gonna get out. Unless you take a lot of corners, that probe is not gonna catch up. And the game normalizes a little bit. Solar even going for a 3rd hatch here before the pool even finishes, just to show you how weird this actually is. 1 hatch finishes up, or the pool finishes up, and we're gonna get 1 queen at the net. I like that a lot. If you want to put down a tumor right away, that's possible, because you do have a 3rd hatch coming in. So you might not be able to spend all of your larvae anyways with 2 queens and a 3rd base. So putting a forward tumor here would be really nice. But maybe I'm wrong, maybe he can spend all of his larvae. Does start +1 speed as well. Might try to overwhelm a 3rd position here with a bunch of speedlings, because his speed is fast-ish. Now we do see Stargate play coming out of Gerald once more. Let's see if he is more successful this time around. 1 adept is going across the map. Let's see what he can find, and we do get that forward creep tumor. Do like that. Very nice, Mr. Solar. Watched a little bit too much of the Rings of Power, where they always really I don't know why. They just like to pronounce it that way. The Rings of Power. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. I'm sure you did. Queen gets confused a little. Do I want to inject or do I want to put a creep tumor? Nah, I'm just going to stay off creep. Just chill. 2 adepts throwing in their shades. Maybe they can throw some shade onto a couple drones. But they do scout out that there's enough lings to hold them off. Speed even finishes up. Now 6 lings I don't think kill 2 adepts out on the map, but more lings are being created here. 10 lings on the map with 6 more coming out. If they find these adepts are going to go down. Oh, lings are going to go across the map. Solar pulls them back. 1 drone does go down, and now we know where the adepts are, but the lings aren't pouncing. Okay. So now the lings go... What? Oh, Solar, I think that was just a little bit of a mistake. Doesn't quite know where he wants to be. Does follow the shades, so never mind. Solar is a god. Gets both of the adepts out on the map. This Oracle does get an extra drone, which means he lost a total of 2 drones. 2 adepts going down. That's still good for Solar. Poor Geraldy boy here. That does not look good for you, my man. And how many Oracles are we going to see on the map? We see 2. Third one is being created. And Solar has a Spore in every base ready. 6 Queens. And Forge goes down, Twilight Console goes down. We saw Solar click on them. So Solar knows what's going on. Just a standard transition out of Gerald. And the interesting thing is how many gateways is Gerald going to make with this? And is he really going to start +1? Oh! Too bad. Goes for a Stasis Ward, but is slightly in range of this Spore Crawler. Does get a nice Stasis Ward on a couple drones at the bottom here, denying a little bit of mining time. I don't know if people remember the Entomb ability, where you would, like, entomb all of the minerals. It was so weird. You'd have to build, like, 1 or 2 spines, and then you'd still have to, like, grab your drones and, like, A-click all of the minerals yourself. It was very annoying. Because I think units didn't auto-attack them. Let's see what Solar does in this game. Does have a pretty high ling count once again. Now he goes for a Spire. Another Stasis Ward. That was a big hit, actually. Holy shit. Look at that. Couple drones still going down here. Gerald getting a lot more harass done, and a lot of lings going down there. 13 lings in total have been shredded in this game. Templar Archives is going down. Might see some Archons. I don't know if he's going to go for Storm. Bunch of gateways going down. Gerald, is he going to play the long game once again? Just go for 4th. He is. Interesting. We do have this Spire that hasn't been scouted just yet. That can really catch you off guard. We've seen Lambo do this. I think on the same map at some point. Maybe against Hearthstone. I don't know. I don't remember. But this can really throw a Protoss for a loop. If you just make a couple roaches, bunch of lings, kind of be aggressive in your posture, and then boom. 15 meters, flying to the natural, hold position them like you fly in hold position, click over here, they move further, hold position. Shred all of the probes. You can also use stop command. I'm not sure which one is better. I like hold position, but... And the Roachlings moving on out. 2 Oracles, though. Raining down death from the heavens, or at least from above. And these lings and roaches kind of just warded away by a couple Oracles. We see some mutas coming out. 4 being built, 5 already on the map. And we see a first Phoenix coming out. Gerald has seen this. He smells it. And now the mutas come out here. Are the mutas gonna just straight up fight these Oracles? That would be kind of interesting. But... we see Storm coming out, we see 1 Oracle or a Phoenix coming out, and we see cannons in every mineral line. Oh, big blink coming out from Gerald there. Boom, gets 3 meters right away. That is 1/3 of the meters. That's 300, 300 down the drain, and even more. That's 200, 200 for the Spire, and the rest of the meters. That's like 1100, 1100. Doing absolute zilch. Nothing. Nada. That's a lot of cash. That's like 2,200 resources just doing nothing right now. And I mean, he's gonna find a couple probe kills here. That is nice. But I feel like he needs a little bit more. It's a lot of stalkers here. 18 stalkers. And here come the Phoenix. Shoot the first Phoenix down right away. 5 mutas will one-shot a probe. But Solar not even going to click one down there. Just going to fly out with his Mudmuds. Oh my god, this Oracle getting a lot of value. 14 kills on this Oracle. Probably most of them were Lings. Mutas get caught by the Phoenix. 9 drones did go down, so I guess most of these drones actually went down to the double Oracle. No Spore. That's a lot of creep tumors. Holy moly. Solar did some rapid fire action with some shift involved as well. Blocking out his own army from advancing. And Solar is knocking on the door. He is the one who knocks. With a lot of Ling Bane Ravager. We do have this... Whoa, my god, that was a huge stasis ward. Preventing a lot of the important units of Solar of doing anything. Nice force fields. Oh my god. The Banelings don't get a lot of probes. Actually, still get 9 probes there. I guess the gas probes? It didn't get anything else. A bunch more drones went down as well. Oh my god, and these Ravagers are not cheap. Ravagers also 100-100, just like the Mutas, and Solar likes donating 100-100 cost units in this game. Gerald looking very strong in game number 3. He's getting +1 attack. He's building a bunch of cannons and shield batteries. He's very cognizant of the fact that if I just get up to like 4 carriers, I could just A-move your ass. So, as long as I don't die right now, I am Gucci. And Gerald is going to join the Gucci gang with this double carrier production. What can Solar do against that? He could produce Corruptors, but right now he is not in the know. He doesn't know. Stalkers, removing a couple of his creep tumors, and Solar put down a shit ton. We do see +1 air attack coming out. That is quite nice. A couple storms prevent this Ling run by from doing anything. And both players are maxed, but if you look at the army of Solar, it's going up to 95 drones here. It's getting adrenal glands a little later than the other games. So this big Ling count can count for something. If he can get some nice run-bys going, keep Gerald back in his base. And behind it, he is going for that Hydra Den. We do see a Lurker Den as well. We see Solar pulling off drones out of his main base, putting them on more further outer bases, which is a very good super late game and end game principle. If you have more patches than drones, save your inner patches. Because if at some point all of the bases are starting to get mined out and you can't expand anymore, you kind of like expand in your main, because you still have some minerals there left over there sometimes. Maybe they just died to an Oracle and I'm talking out of my ass, but I do think that's a good principle. If you can like expand super far outwards, mining less or not mining at all from your main base or even your natural can be a pretty good idea. If you save some of those minerals for rainy days, especially if you can spare it. Look at the bank. Some Banelings do crash in, but I don't know if Gerald really minds losing probes anymore. I don't know if he's going to rebuild them. He can just build a massive army. Have the carriers been exposed yet? I don't think so. Solar isn't really playing as if he knows. I mean, he does have +1 attack. Let's see if he starts up +1 Carapace after that. Because then he's really preparing for it. We do see these Overseers finally flying into the base. He is going to find out about the fleet bacon. He's going to find the carriers. So now he definitely knows. Starts up Corruptors and Vipers, but can't start up a lot of them because he's completely supply capped. Lose a couple Lings. So I guess that's good for him. Could see some Lurkers coming out, but instead we see a bunch of Corruptors coming out. Oh my god, the Banes. Just destroy a bunch of static defense. Gerald immediately rebuilds them. Has High Templar at the 4th base. at the 5th base in the main army as well. And Solar tries to bust down the front once again. Solar is definitely an exciting player to watch in the late game, because he just sends it, dude. He just sends all of his units out. Ravagers go down. I'm not sure if that was planned. Maybe they got F2'd in. But look at Gerald. He can just camp it up. Only has 2 Stargates, slowly but surely making a carrier army that would be hard to defeat for Solar. Solar gets a 2nd Spire, gets +1 armor. And that kind of makes it this difficult for Gerald, I feel like. Doesn't really have a timing anymore here with the carriers, because Solar is prepared for them. How many Corruptors? We have 13 in the sky, but we also have 5 Lurkers? Yeah, 5 Lurkers. Lurkers with range. They also have the adaptive talent, so they burrow faster, which, you know, bit weird for siege units to be able to do that, but it's okay. I think Harston mentioned this in his recent patch review video. It was like, why can siege units quickly siege and unsiege? I think it was about the Liberator, which I do agree with that point. It's like, why would you want a siege unit that is strong in one location and like commits himself to a position to be allowed to like quickly remaneuver? That's kind of like, the whole downside should be that it can't do that. In theory, like, it's just like the siege tank, right? Like, and the medevac pickup was just not fun. That's why you can't pick up the disruptor when it's shooting its ball. How many Corruptors do we have? 18 Corruptors into the 5 carriers that are in this army. +2 attack on these carriers. One gets yoinked into a Spore Crawler and then gets one-shot by the Corruptors. Lots of Corruptors. 24 Corruptors. And what is Gerald's plan here? He's just gonna drag this game out even further. Doesn't take a 5th base behind this. So this kind of looked like a Doom push, but now he does start to take a 5th base behind this, or 6th base, sorry. And it really starts contesting his side of the map. Solar only has this base left to take as his bases, or at least if you cut the map that way. You could also like cut it down the middle, of course, like vertically. Could even cut it horizontally if you wanted. But with Gerald taking this base, it's kind of a diagonal cut. So those are going to be the contested bases, the ones in the corner. No burrow for Solar. Couple drones go down here. Oh, nice storms onto the Lurkers here. Storms onto the Corruptors as well. There's so many Corruptors. Like, even if you kill all the carriers here, your army is just so garbage, right? You have too many Corruptors almost. How many Corruptors? 21 remaining. Damn, the Storms and the Stalkers been doing a number on those. Revelation goes down onto the Corruptors before all the Oracles fly in to die. Now the Banelings come in here, try to deal with whatever they can find, but Gerald keeps his 6th base alive somehow, some way. And the upgrades are getting kind of crazy, dude. +3 attack, +2 shields, +2 air armor. Like, these carriers, and now with Tempest as well, are going to do some crazy work. Only 2 Stargates. Oh, no, it's 4. Okay, it's 4. He built a couple in at the 4th. I like that. And Gerald moves forward. He needs to hold this position. Oh, the storms go down on the Corruptors. They can't stay there, but you need to keep this position as Gerald, because otherwise your 6th base is going to get lost. These Lings just can't find anywhere to harass. And Blinkstalker Storm Carrier with a few Immortals mixed in. Well, it's 1 Immortal, 1 Archon. 7 Lurkers. Can they hold this position for Solar? Solar, how are you gonna deal with that base? You don't have any, like, Brood Lords or, I mean, more Lurkers to walk into the back there. Not even, like, Ling Bane to overrun the position. I do like a couple Spores here at the back to deal with any possible aggression of Protoss. Just, oh my god, 1920 workers. Oh my god, this Zealot run by completely annihilates this base of Solar, putting him in the dumpster. Concerning his worker count, you see Solar, he's not ready to go to a lower worker count yet. He knows there's a lot of minerals to be mined, lots of melee to be played. And he reboots 20 plus drones there. And here comes the mothership, targeting one thing at a time. And this base of Solar might go down. That is 2 bases down. Oh my god, look at Gerald's storms. Oh, the lurkers go down. Slowfield goes down. We don't see Time Warp a lot nowadays. But the mothership does go down. Lots of Stalkers still alive, but all of the carriers go down. And is Gerald going to commit onto these lurkers? No, he is not. 10 more drones go down. The Zealots came back with a vengeance for more food. And that is like, what, 40 drones down? At least 66 have died this game? And one lurker, I mean, can't really deal with the Zealots. Solar looks back at what is coming towards him and is happening in his backyard. Gerald punches back and makes this a series. Kills 76 drones in this game. And Solar, with a, like, horrid mutabuild, gets clapped and brings us to game number 4. And what a series we do have. Game number 4. Gerald going for another quick probe scout and taking his first game versus Solar in game number 3. Going for that quick scout again here on Ghost River. And especially in Ghost River, I like it a lot. Forcing your opponent to take this third is so strong that, I don't know. This map, I kind of consider 12 pooling almost every game. Just to make sure that they are panicking a little and I can just get my natural in the position that I want it to be. And then play it from there. Like, you can 12 pool into macro. Even Cyril has done it in the past. It's very much the past, but still. What a Protoss map. Look at that. You can even check the third from the high ground. Protoss map, dude. What a Protoss map. The only thing the Zergs get is like swarmhosts over here, but that even isn't that good, honestly. Not that good. Because swarmhosts need like 2 good positions on a map, I feel like. And it's the best if you can hit the main and the natural from one position, which you don't really get here with your swarmhost without like the army just moving in. Surly's Overlord moves into the natural here of Gerald, who takes his gas just now. Let's see what type of tech will come up in a second here. Solar's mining gas for his speed, which I guess you want ASAP here. He's even pulled off a drone to make sure that it gets speed as soon as possible. Like, Adepts can really mess you up with this huge distance between your main and your second base. And I like that. Gerald is chrono boosting out an Adept for that reason. Gerald going for another Stargate. Doesn't get it all the way forward, but still. It's going to be getting another Oracle, most likely. And Solar throws down that hatchery. Are we going to see a Creep Tumor back? Or is he going to inject the natural? Yeah, Creep Tumor in the main. I like that a lot. Solar is a guy that doesn't put Creep Tumors on edges. I don't know what's that about. It's not the end of the world, but it feels like an easy thing to, like, get a small advantage with. Oh, this Adept goes for the Shade in. Wants to get a cheeky drone kill, but doesn't get anything. Shade goes into the main. Doesn't go and check the gas. Instead, goes for the Shade up. Gets one shot on a drone, and that's it. I mean, it's still annoying as hell. I'll give him that. 8 Lings are already out. 4 more coming out here. This second Adept is getting chased down, and speed is almost done. This Adept fires another shot onto a drone. Nice Evo. Solar, nice block, dude. Oh, and wow, Gerald actually gets one drone over there, one drone over here. And I think one adept did go down. One adept did go down. Pretty nice. A lot of action going on there. Their base for Gerald is not done. The probe is going out to try and get it, but Solar has a lot of speedlings on the map. These adepts saw it. We have one oracle to defend, but the Nexus hasn't started, and that is a rough position to be in. These links feel good as the Zerg player, especially if you can catch this probe. But even keep the oracle back home. The second one is about to pop out. And if you commit all of your links onto this probe and like most of your links die, that actually starts feeling bad again. Because then 2 adepts and 2 oracles come across the map. Now these links keep those oracles back at bay, back at home, more drones being built. That feels good. As a Zerg player, nice use of these links from Solar. He gets a lot out of them. But now it's Gerald's turn. Runs across the map with the oracles. The queens are ready to meet them. Instantaneously beats down almost all of the shields. And the oracles actually turn on their beams, try to kill this queen, but can't quite get the job done. A little underwhelming there, those oracles. We do see Twilight Console and Forge coming out for Gerald once again. He has 4 gateways, 1 adept there. Steps out of position a little bit too much. I know you've done that in your team fights in your MOBA game as well. Slightly out of position, you get picked off, and somehow it's your team's fault. Oh my god, the oracles. Come in the eraser beams on all of those Zerglings. Would have preferred to use those on drones. Only 2 drones have died. And Solar is stabilizing here, is getting 5 gases, a Roach Warren and an Evo Chamber. So 5 gases on 60-ish drones. What is Solar cooking here? That's what the young ones say. A little bit of play around this weird wall. It's like a mineral rock wall hybrid. Do see a lair coming up here from Solar. Wouldn't be surprised to see speed and range coming up here. And just see like a big Roachling Ravager push. Oh, yes. Infestation Pit. This is a Swarmhost angle, baby. Let's go. 6 gases. 4th base. And we are going to see some Swarmhosty boys if God allows it. And I would really like him to allow it, but Gerald is moving out here. Doesn't have Blink, doesn't have +1. Similar attack as he did on Site Delta, but now he actually gets onto the 4th base, catches Solar with just not enough units to deal with this, has an extra Oracle as well, cancels the 4th base twice, and can just get a recall out here if he wants to. Doesn't even really need to. Dude, Gerald, this is a good move out. That is really annoying for the Zerg here, forced to spend a lot of his gas on roaches, but still is banking up a lot here. And this is, if this attack doesn't happen, there's 8 Swarmhost standing here about right now. But that did happen. And now we see a Hydrodang going down instead. A little bit of cave bobbing going on. We see the hive going down, and I think the Swarmhost angle is completely gone. Sag. More gas being taken, so this is the cave bob, which is very gas intensive. We're gonna build a bunch of lurkers and go from there. But is Gerald going to allow that? He has 18 stalkers, ladies and gentlemen. 7 gateways, just pumping out the blink stalkers with +1, +2 is started as well. He's making 2 Templar Archives over here. I don't know if that is on purpose, but he has 2 of them. There's only 1 upgrade on that building. But it doesn't matter. Gerald is playing out of his mind. And Solar doesn't seem to have enough units. Actually, Gerald pushes on into Solar. We haven't seen this all series long. Gerald actually forcing himself into the basis of Solar. But blinks on top of the last queens. Catches the roaches. And Solar has to capitulate out of that game real fast. And we go to a game-deciding game number 5. And to decide the winner of this series and who stays in the tournament, we load into Crimson Court. And Gerald goes for that super fast scout once again. Solar going for the Overlord and the 14th drone. Just going for standard expand. Does send out the drone to see if he can get the hatchery, but it's not going to happen this time around. The probe sees the drone. Wants to go for the rich geyser, but it's just not happening here. More drones were built. Is Solar going to sneak it? He's going to try and get it. But Gerald, doesn't see it, doesn't see it. The drone, you have the minerals. He actually loops back for the natural. Dude, the mind games. Solar didn't want to commit for this forward base. Gets his natural base. Now, as a Zerg player, I've got to say, that feels good, man. Oh, just get my own natural. Oh, baby. Gerald getting his gas, getting a gateway, and even see gas before pool. Damn. Solar, that's just the latest gas pool after hatch that you can get. I think this hatch went down on 18 or something. But probably not going to get punished too much as of yet. Because this adept can still be super annoying when it comes down. Do see Nexus before core. And the one gas. Solar rallying into the gas as he has already completed his mineral saturation. Gerald being annoying. Trying to mine off the patches so that the drones gets all screwed up. Which is a little mini game you have to play in the early game. It's kind of annoying, frankly, but what can you do? That's what happens when you try to play a game competitively. You've got to min-max all of those small, annoying aspects of the game. It's not about what you enjoy anymore. It's about the things that you don't enjoy that you still have to master. Or do sometimes. Or play or whatever. Because sometimes it's just stronger. Sometimes increases your win probability too much. And in the long term, it's going to net you more dubs. Stargate play comes out from Gerald again. We saw him go for Twilight Robo once on Dynasty, but didn't quite work out. And his Stargate play at the last two games has been panning out. And he's been catching some momentum with this, or at least producing some momentum. Creep Tumor in the front. I like this Creep Tumor back a little because of, you know, you want to put your queen in front, and if you put the Creep Tumor on the edge, you actually have to put like your queen slightly off of creep, and then they can't really respond to the angle that the adepts are coming from and like start stutter stepping back the first like 2-3 hits already. So actually, I like that position more. Got to talk about something, guys. The Shade goes into the main. Remember to subscribe if you're enjoying the StarCraft. I mean, if you're still around, you probably are. Look at them adepts. They do get a couple of nice Zergling kills. More Zerglings come in. Solar, very, very consistent at making more lings the moment speed is about to finish. And we do have that speedling upgrade online. Only 3 lings on the map, and boom, more drones come out. And Solar feels good, because he just caught those adepts. So the only thing he really has to defend against is this one Oracle. Let's see how he does it. One Oracle gets into the third base. No queens there, but all of the queens are at the other bases. Oh, this one drone shows himself. Rally to the gold base, question mark. We saw Eon Blue do that against Hydra. Mine this out. Mine this out. Go for the Link Flood. Although Eon Blue took this as a natural, which I like that build a lot. It was cool. Gorillas in the Mist type build. More gateways coming down for Gerald here. Goes up to 4 gateways before anything else. It's a nice number. And Solar is going to mine out the gold base over there. I don't know if he just likes having some lings over there, or likes having this base as a potential 5th or 4th. But we're going to see if he has any plans. Does make your opponent think like, huh, why is he mining that out? Why is he doing that? I guess harassing this is super difficult. You could put a pylon and warp in some units, but Like, getting there with a whole army is actually really hard. Now, these are 7 minerals, so it's only 3 drones. 1, 2, 3, and you get into the base of Solar. Look at these lings. Maybe just wants to make sure that if there's a third there from Gerald, that he catches it, because he doesn't know. Solar doesn't know. Solar doesn't know. Oh. And Gerald again with this attack before Blink and +1. This is the earliest he's done this attack so far, or maybe Blink and +1 are just a little late. Only gets 1 tumor there, that feels bad. But still, look at this attack, forcing out units from Solar. Solar knows that this attack is not like designed to kill him or anything, but he still needs to respect it. Some lings, the roaches and the queens, do not come in to deal with these adepts, so these adepts actually super small surface area or low surface area do see a nice ling run by, get into the base of Gerald here. Only 2 probes going down for this ling run by, and a lot of lings went down as well. 31 lings and 7 drones have died. Dude, is Gerald going to like reverse 3-0 Solar of all players? That would not have been my prediction at any point. Like, when he won the first game, it was kind of like, yeah, I mean, that meta game, whatever. Game 2, a little weird, but it's Ghost River, feels pretty good for Protoss. But now, Gerald, dude, Gerald is kind of fine with just playing uber defensive. Infestation Pit going down once again, but this time, I'm not going to talk about the swarmhost angle, even though it's there. It's there. But if you do it, please win. For the love of God. If you do it, please win. You get a Rich Geyser as well. I mean, Swarmers could be okay. If you run down. Copium. I'm huffing it. Dude, think about it. Just get those Swarmers. Yes. Solar makes the boys the Mushroom Man. We're gonna come out, the toads of the Zerg Kingdom are gonna make their appearance, and my god are they cute. Depending on the skin that you choose, honestly, but they're gonna try and do some damage. Do these roaches have roach speed? They do. I don't know, they just looked a little slow to me. 11, 12. He's going hard on the hosts, boys. And who can blame him? Solar, how are you being aggressive into all of these stalkers? I mean, maybe he's just feigning this aggression. Oh my god, this forward base, the Swarmhost can actually be used defensively. I mean, you just never want to use them defensively, honestly, but if you throw out the Locust, they can literally follow this army onto this 4th base. Yes, yes, Nidus Worm is coming down, more Roaches are coming down, we have +1 range, and oh, that Zealot actually tanking a lot of Locust. And these Locusts aren't going to get into that base either. More Locusts coming in, ooh. Solar, use them a little bit too far back. I don't like that as much. As soon as Locusts are in the air, you need to be A-moving with all of your units, boys. We do have a couple of Ravagers here, girls, of course. Also, completely welcome here. Or, gender not specified. Also fine. Ling Roach Ravager with 12 Swarm Hosty boys. It's only 11. Apparently one of them died. Maybe one of them is in the Nidus Worm. And the Nidus Worm is going to go down, but oh my god, Gerald! Spidey senses were tingling! He just warped in a bunch of stalkers there. That link showing itself actually kind of gave it away, maybe? But Solar didn't mine out the top. That would be great. Even just an Overlord over there. Dude! Wake up! You need to cook! But Swarmos... Oh, nice blink forward, Gerald! Dude, the one Stalker blinks forward forces all of those Locusts to swoop because they were on a move. And a nice Stasis Ward as well, dude. Gerald dealing with those Locusts very well. And a lot of drones going down. What the hell? Where did all those drones die? Was that just a nil Stalker run by? Whoa, 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 whoa. 8 drones go down. 66 drone swarm host. That's the best number. Snoot told us years ago. And behind us, we do see a hive. We see Hydra range coming up. I mean, Hydras are a little bit more DPS for their supply, and of course, Swarmhosts take up a lot of supply. We do see another Locust wave going down. I want him to split. Take a couple, swoop, and then a couple on the army. Oh, take down the nuclear battery! Yes, the Locust getting that value, baby. I mean, and not like infinite value, but pretty good value. You can snipe pylon as well. And just remax on more units. Even a Lurker than Lurker Swarmhost in this specific position is actually super cool. No more Stalkers running by, but I mean, Solar is just making units anyways. But Stalkers are pretty good against Swarmhost if you can keep blinking back. Now, we do have decent creep going forward. Maybe like a spine over here or something would be kind of okay. Oh, the Nidus is down. The Swarmhosts come out, but there is charge slots here. Do you want to throw them down? You do throw them down. And, oh, nice control by Solar. Nice. He finally gets good control. He clicks them. You need to, like, select them and immediately click them away, which is really hard because they're unselectable for a little bit while they're, like, hatching. And then they will instantly try to attack the Zealots, but nice swoop down here from Solar. Gets a bunch of probe kills there. 11 probes go down. Unpowers the Twilight Console, which doesn't really do anything because all of the, well, notable upgrades have already been done. Oh no, he doesn't. There is a nice Artosis Pylon there if he wants to kill it. That was a nice swoop. I like it. Dude, send an Overlord over there, please. You know there's a base. Get a Nidus there. Oh, Disruptors on the map, but also Lurkerinos are on the map. Lurkers getting their range, and these Locusts, if you get the swoop on Disruptors, it's really good. But if you get them... Oh, it goes onto the Rich Geyser. But when you start swooping, they kind of like get a little bit extra distance. So swooping is pretty good, especially on bigger buildings. Because they start swooping as soon as they are near the building, but they can land on the other side. So you get a little bit more range on the Swarmhost. That can be pretty good, and that can be why with like low timer Locust, you just swoop onto a building. So then instead of landing here, they land on the other side of the gas, and suddenly they can hit a bunch of more probes. Swarmhost, we can get a double swoop, go in here and go in there, but he goes for the all-in swoop into this Rich Geyser base. All the Locusts get into the mineral line. Not even all of them are firing, but this Nexus is going down. And we have a Swarmhost game for game number 5. My voice is kind of going. He even puts a Nidus there. Mwah! Chef's kiss. A little bit of creep goes down there. So there's creep here, so you can't immediately rebuild the Nexus. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Solar, my hero. And look at that, has a bunch of Lurkers. That is suddenly very hard to push into as the Protoss player. You let the Zerg get here. Now, it's funny, I used to do this shit off of 2 bases. You just like wall in, make some Lurkers, and then you do Swarmhost Nidus all over the place. That's the bad player's version of this. But the good player has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases. And still has the Swarmhost. Don't really ever want to rebuild any of them, but... Oh, Solar, are you paying attention? Needs to get another good swoop. Oh, doesn't catch all of them. But still catches a decent amount. And if he's paying attention, he can move them in there. And nice swoop into the natural. Swoop to whoop. Even gets an attack here. Oh my god, Solar. So, I don't want to say cocky, but just so confident. Runs in with the Lurkers still on 60 drones. Very important. Honestly, because Swarmhost takes so much supply that the rest of your army needs to be a little bigger to compensate. Lurkers, though. 8 Lurkers on the map. 8 more coming out. And this top base of Gerald, I don't know if it's been spot... Oh my god, what are these boys doing here? They came out of the first Nidus. Now the second one is going down, saving Private Swarmhost. No! Get them in, not get them out! Oh, Solar, I guess he's donating them. Oh, he's not? Because at some point, you can't really get any angles anymore, and so losing the 4 supply unit to get more Roach, Ravager, Hydra. Gerald taps out Solar, takes game number 5 here. Oh, that's the wrong one. versus Gerald with the swarmhosty boys. Oh my. Crimson Court. Who would have thought? Delivers. Honestly, kind of a masterclass. Solar with the swarmhost play, showing us how to take apart this Protoss. Gerald wishing you'd taken down these rocks way earlier, maybe taken this base instead, because then you remove this angle completely if you have a base there. But they can still kind of do it further back, and then this angle becomes really annoying. Like, he takes this base, removes this angle, basically. But, I don't know, pretty difficult. I feel like Gerald should have been able to win because of the swarmos only being used at the front and at the back a little bit, and he even caught the first Nidus with the Stalkers. And the first wave of Locust wasn't great. The second one wasn't that great either. But Solar made it work. Got the good swoops. What a fun word, swoop. And Gerald, dude, after running it back, getting the 2-0 after being 2-0'd himself, like losing 2 games, winning 2 games. Game number 5, Solar pulls out the good unit. It's a joke, obviously. And takes this best of 5, stays in the tournament. Gerald leaves us. But what a match, what a series. It took very long, but I'm glad I was here for it. Guys, thank you all for watching. I hoped you enjoyed. And if I had to rate this series, I would rate it about 5 out of 8 blue minerals. I think it was pretty good. Maybe 6 out of 8 blue minerals. It was a 5-game banger. The 5th game, great. Gerald almost gets a reverse 3-0. It's pretty good. The story is good. The games were pretty decent. We saw some Ultralisks. Yeah, I feel good. 6 out of 8 minerals. If you think you can do better, if you would rate it differently, let me know in the comments. How would you rate the series? And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.